guys, welcome back. This is a long overdue video that we've been wanting to do for like months and months and months.
And it's always been pushed back. But we're doing it today.
And we're here to tell you our favorite indie authors. AKA our favorite authors probably of all time.
Of all time, yeah.
So it's like 2 in 1.
Yeah.
The first author we want to talk about is an author that is kind of dear to us because I think she's like the first author that actually reached out to us.
I think she is.
Yeah. Read and review her book, and it was like such a big deal. Like, what was this, like last year or so?
Uh-huh.
We were only on BookTube for not even a year yet.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, such a big thing for us. Mm-hmm. So, of course, we have to add her in, but not just because of that, because she writes such great books.
Great books.
So that is Jennifer Wilson, author of the New World Rising trilogy. She was first a self-published author, but now she is, of course, with Of Tomes Publishing.
So the trilogy is a dystopian, and the only other dystopian before this that I have ever read, it was obviously Divergent. Her dystopian world and society was horrifying, very different and very detailed, and I kind of feel like she gave off a different vibe compared to any other book, and it's very well written. I love her characters. The main girl, Phoenix, is so badass. Mm-hmm. She's probably one of my top characters as the most badass girl ever.
Yes.
Especially in part 2, she started scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, but also like she wrote her with so much depth and so much growth, which is the key to any character, especially one like her who is set into this type of environment. And
also considering that these are her first books that she's been coming out with, it's as if she's been doing this forever and she came out with hundreds, because that's how good she is as an author with her characters and the plot, and it's always continuously going. And she's so sweet! Like, the author, she is so sweet.
Can't wait for the last book. It's so sad. But I also can't wait until she writes more books, whether it's a new type of world or whatever type of story she's going to come out with. It's just sure going to be a auto-buy automatically. So. Yeah. This other author, her book, Ruin, was the first book that we kind of read together. Together. We finished it.
We sat next to each other and we finished it and we cried.
Beautiful. And that is Rachel Van Dyken. She mainly writes new adult books. But oh my god, they're just, all her books have been so good. And they're always just steamy and sexy, but such great character and emotion and just...
And I don't know how she does it, but I kind of feel like I get an email saying that she's coming out with the book every month.
She writes nonstop.
Because I know some authors, they'll come out with the book and then it takes them a very long time to come out with it again, and it's always this high anticipation.
No, not her.
Sometimes she comes out with 2 at a time.
She's just an author where her stories are just, they stick to your heart. Okay? I definitely recommend her book, Ruin, and the Seaside series. Those are one of my all-time favorites, and I haven't read all her books because she has so many.
She
but
comes out with
I need
a lot.
to just I have almost all of them. I have to read them all.
So we have spoken about this author before, and she is the author of our favorite series, which is the Lost and Found series, and that is Nicole Williams. How did we first even discover her? I don't even remember.
I first got my Nook. I literally bought whatever book I could find. It was probably a 99-cent book. And I just read it. And then I read the next one. And the next one.
Yeah. And her book, especially Lost and Found, it takes a certain kind of book to actually stick with us long after we finished it and actually have an impact on us. And this book really makes us just want to pack up our stuff and go to Montana and stay there forever.
It has been years since I read this book, and Cowboys and Montana has been on my mind since. Okay, but it's just, obviously it's not just that, but there's not many books that stick with us, or at least, I mean, not stick with us in this way. Like all these books that we talk about now are like books that something so small could make us be like, oh, lost and found or something, whatever. But it's just like her characters again are just like beyond perfection, the ups and downs and the raw emotion.
And speaking of ups and downs, she ended it with Finders Keepers, and just kind of like a spin-off of the first two off of another character, and it just ended, and it was very, you know, painful. And then she decided to continue that novel, so now that has a sequel. And then I don't know what got into her. She decided to continue the story from the first two.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot.
And you know you're connected to a story and to characters when you cannot read it.
We still have it.
I can't read it.
It came out some time ago. And I have them. I haven't even opened it yet.
Like I bought them as soon as they came out. I can't read it.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't like this because the way that they ended these characters were such a good note. So you know how when it comes to Emperor books, how it's always about the sex and the romance and the passion. But then that's it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
These books, they just show like the ups and downs of a relationship, of who you are. You know, love is not always perfect. That's what these books show. It's just so real. And these Jesse Walker, Garth, all of them.
Mm-hmm. And also, I've never been so up and down with a book where I absolutely hated a character that I hope he died. Like, that's how much I really despise this character. He was disgusting. But then, it's my baby. Like, I really loved him, and I was just like, oh god, he's just a hurt soul.
Still a human. He still made mistakes, and they all did. And it wasn't always just so peachy keen, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I love contemporary series, because they just seem more real again.
Yeah.
I couldn't recommend the series enough, because it's YA, but it has a lot of new adults. And I think you're going to fall in love. So last but not least, and if you've been watching us for a long time,
then you already know.
And this is like a really exciting moment here, because I actually have a copy of the book. Okay, because they're all ebooks. And that is the one and only Miss Amy Harmon. Of course, this is the book that got us into her insane mind of perfectionist. She is an author of many wonderful, fantastic, brilliant, emotional books.
I've had people just ask me, oh, like, tell me a good author. I always say Harmon, and every time they say, oh, like, who's that? You know, they're not that familiar with her, and I'm just like, you about to find out. Mm-hmm. And I just tell them, like, she's just, I don't think there's a lot of authors just like her out there. She's very special in a great way. One thing that I really love about her is that, it's gonna sound mean in a way, but I really love how all of her books take a toll on her. Like, they like sometimes she'll post a status and stuff like that saying that she just can't handle it, that she did a scene and it like took it all out of her, and now she can't stop crying. Like, to see her put this much of herself into a book that it does this to her, I'm just like, you're not human.
And when you read all of her books, like, it's guaranteed to have some type of impact on you.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Like, you can't even relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
It will have the biggest impact, and she's not afraid to kind of show her spiritual side too, which I love. And she writes what's in her heart, and it definitely just comes through in her words and the passion. Like, I can just tell, like, there's just so much soul in her work. And again, like, if I could recommend a book for you to start with, it would be this, of course. Like, she writes not just the same type of books. She's written her romance books, and they talk about really deep stuff. Mm-hmm. And now her new book is a fantasy book. So I just love how she just lets out.
Explore. And also, at the end of 2016, she's doing a historical book. So I do like that she's kind of getting outside of her comfort zone. because I know it will be magical. Because she's not. I'm telling you, she's not human. There's something wrong. She cannot be human.
So if you want to read this book and you want to kind of save cash, which, you know, we understand, for a short amount of time from May 17th until June 5th, this bundle is called Coming Home. It's a collection of Army books, including Making Faces. And it's 5 books for only 99 cents. I mean, full books. Like, they're not like short stories. Like,
yeah.
Full on. So I think that's an insane deal.
This is for a Memorial Day charity collection. All of the proceeds will be given to an organization called at Sports. This is a non-profit organization that helps veterans better their physical health and their mental health through sports and, you know, all the physical activity and stuff like that.
And it makes sense because in this book, not only does it involve the Army, but sports do play a role, and it's just so perfect. And it really kind of just reminds me of the main character in this book.
Yeah.
And it would be something that I think he would want to.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that, but I'm like, I don't know if I can say it without crying.
Oh my
but
God,
this
please.
is something totally that
he would do. So
that's just like part of it. Oh my God.
Not only for you guys, but for us to actually read more books, discover new authors, and new stories to kind of, you already know.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's also helping.
Yes.
It's, you know, it's good to know that all of this is going to help others. So.
Yay. So those are all the authors. And we really trust these recommendations, at least. You know, if you don't like them, it's fine. But these are authors that hold dear to our heart. We just love them and we swear by them. We can't stop talking about them. So go support your indie authors and buy their books because they are the best. And also let us know what other indie authors you love that we may not know of. So we'll see you in our next video.
Bye guys.